Sunday School Class 7, Lesson 13, Part 2, Inheriting of the Promised Land. So in Part 1, we already learned about the journey of the people of Israel. So Israel's journey through wilderness, we already covered in Part 1. Part 2, we are going to talk about the inheriting of the promised land or the capturing of the promised land. Okay. So, again, we learned in the previous part that Moses died at the age of 120, and he was not allowed to enter the promised land because of the disobedience that he committed. So he died at Mount Pisgah at Nebo. Okay. So now, who was the next leader chosen after Moses? It was Joshua. So from here on, we are going to learn about Joshua and how he led the people further to capture the promised land. So Joshua in Hebrew, it means Jehovah saves. Okay. Joshua was a son of Nun. His tribe was Ephraim, and in his early days he was also known as Yehoshua or Hoshea. Okay, so that is about Joshua. Now, points to remember about Joshua. Joshua was already given training under Moses because he was also the assistant of Moses as Aaron. So Joshua was given training under Moses to lead the people. So before Moses died, or before the death of Moses, Joshua was already there with Moses, giving assistance to Moses. Joshua was a warrior. So you remember the war that was fought against the Amalekites, where Moses was there. Moses had to raise his hand up. So who were the two people who were holding his hand? Aaron and Hur. Yes, so Aaron and Hur were holding the hand of Moses up high because he has to raise his hand up. And who was there fighting the war? It was Joshua who was fighting the war. Okay, fine. Then he was the one who gave the positive news about capturing the land of Canaan. So 12 people, 12 spies were sent to Canaan. Out of that, only 2 people came with positive news. Who were they? Caleb and Joshua. Yes, Joshua was one of the person who gave positive news about capturing the land. And only Joshua and Caleb could enter the promised land. So people who started from Egypt to Israel, out of those people, only Joshua and Caleb could enter the promised land. Rest everyone who entered with Joshua and Caleb were those other people's children and their children's children and all those descendants. They together with Joshua and Caleb entered the promised land. Okay, so these are the points to remember about Joshua. Now they had to capture the promised land. So the first task to enter the promised land was to cross the river Jordan. So they had to cross the river Jordan to enter Canaan. As soon as the priests who were carrying the Ark of Covenant, as soon as they reached Jordan, they reached the edge of Jordan, and their water touched and their feet touched the water of Jordan, the flow of the water stopped. The water was flowing, the water was streaming up. That stream or that flow completely stopped, and hence all Israelites walked through the dry land. So as we saw in the Red Sea, where the Red Sea parted, the same way over here, the flow that was going, that flow completely stopped. So the water stopped and the people could pass through the dry land. So they passed through the dry land, they crossed the river Jordan, and they reached near Canaan, or they reached Canaan. The land of Canaan was under 7 tribes. So the land of Canaan were ruled by 7 different tribes. Who were there? First of all, Canaanites, next Hittites, then Hivites, then Perizzites, then Gerahites, then Amorites and Jebusites. So these were the 7 tribes who were ruling in the land of Canaan. So Israel had to fight all of them to conquer the land. So we can see that Israel, the people of Israel, on the leadership of Joshua, they fought how many wars? 3 wars. Okay, so the people of Israel under the leadership of Joshua, they fought 3 wars in total to conquer the land of Canaan. Remember the 7 tribes that were ruling the land of Canaan. So the first war was at the central part in Canaan. If you just imagine a map of Canaan, so first war was at the center, at the central part of Canaan. Second war was at the southern part, that is south part of Canaan, and third war was at the north part of Canaan. Okay, so 3 wars to completely capture the whole place of Canaan. So we're going to talk about the first war. The first war was at the central part, that is at the center. So Gilgal is situated in the center, a little east of the center of Canaan, and it was captured by Israel. Second, the people of Israel captured the city of Jericho. Now Jericho is a fortified city. Israelites fought the war of faith. So over here, what and how did Israelites fight the war against Jericho? Jericho had a huge wall. Now, in the olden times, every city and nation had a wall, a big, huge wall to protect themselves from the enemy's attack. For example, the society we live in, every society has a wall, right? So, same way, Jericho also had a huge, big wall surrounded, which surrounded the whole city. Okay, so how did the Israelites fight that war? The priests of Israel, they went round and round and round and round the wall of Jericho. For how many days? For 7 days, they blew the trumpet and they went round and round the walls of Jericho. And on the 7th day, they blew the trumpet loudly, and the walls of Jericho came down shaking and trembling. So that was the war of faith that Israel fought against the city of Jericho. So as soon as they blew the trumpet on the 7th day, the whole wall came crumbling down, and then the people of Israel went inside the city and they killed everyone over there except one person. And who was that one person? That was Rahab. Okay, so the people of Israel killed everybody except Rahab, and all the possessions from the land were devoted into the treasury of the Lord's house. Now, why was Rahab spared? Because she had helped the spies who had gone into the city of Canaan before. So you know Moses had sent 12 spies to the city of Canaan, right? Spies, secret agents. Yes. So Rahab was the person who saved those spies, or who gave shelter to those spies. So that is why God told the people of Israel to not kill Rahab. So she was kind to the people of God. So God was kind to Rahab. So all were killed except Rahab, and all the possessions, all the treasury, all the gold, everything was taken, and it was devoted as a treasury into the Lord's house. But there was one person whose name was Achan, and he was from the tribe of Judah. What did he do? He took some of the possessions for himself and he hid it. Okay, so all the possessions were actually given into the temple for the Lord's, into the Lord's house as a treasure. But Achan, from that, he took some treasures for himself and he hid it. What happened? The anger of the Lord was upon him, and hence, after fighting the big huge city of Jericho, they went to fight the city of Ai. And Ai was a very small city. So they thought, we could fight such a big city of Jericho. So Ai is nothing. We can simply and very easily fight with Ai. But what happened? Did they win that war with Ai? No, they were not able to win that war. Even though it was a smaller city, they could not win that war. Why? Because God was not with them. And why was God not with them? Because Achan had done something wrong. Yes, so the anger of Lord was on Achan, so they could not defeat a small city named Ai. Then Achan was turned over to God and he was killed at the valley of Achor. So after Achan was killed in Achor, again they went to fight the war with Ai, and this time could they fight and win the war? Yes, they could, because God was there with the people of Israel. So you should understand, whatever you have been commanded to do, you should always do it with the right mind. Okay? Otherwise, God's punishment is always on you. So that was the first war at the central part of Canaan. So they captured Gilgal, they captured Jericho, and they captured Ai. Then there was a second war, and second war was in the south of Canaan. So there was a tribe known as Gibeonites. It was one of the not a tribe, it was one of the cities inside Canaan. So the Gibeonites people, they made a treaty with Israel. Okay, so they made a treaty, they signed a contract. They signed a contract with Israel. Probably, if you don't hurt us, we also won't hurt you, or we will help you. Some of that kind of a treaty or contract. So Gibeonites made a treaty with Israel, but what happened? The Amorites did not like it. So the Amorites did not like that Gibeonites were trying to help the people of Israel. So 5 kings of Amorites, that is the king of Jerusalem, the king of Hebron, the king of Jarmuth, the king of Lachish, and the king of Eglon. So 5 kings of the tribe of Amorite. Amorite was a big tribe. They had many kings. 5 kings out of that, they were really angry and they attacked Gibeonites. But what happened? Joshua helped the Gibeonites and defeated and killed the 5 kings with God's help. And it was during this war that he was fighting with those 5 kings. It was during this war that the sun did not set for a day. So you might have read in the Bible, there is a portion wherein the sun does not set for one whole day. Okay, so it was necessary to delay a day for complete victory. We read the scientists who did research about the rotation of the earth. What did they find? They found a day was missing from the creation of the universe. Okay, so they were actually doing, the scientists were actually doing a research, and they found that one day was missing. Which was this day? This was the day that Lord separated for Joshua. So it was necessary for Joshua to get this whole day to defeat those 5 kings. So it has never happened before this, and till now it has never happened, but this only happened during the time of Joshua. So one full day the sun did not set, the moon did not come, and it was 24/7, it was day. Okay, and that was the time when Joshua was fighting with the 5 kings, and he defeated and killed them, and they won the war in the south. Now there was a third war in the north. The war took place in the Merom Lake. Few from south and some from the major tribes also joined. They had 3 lakh chariots and 20,000 horses. Just imagine, those people from the north were so powerful. But Israel defeated them also. Okay, so with the help of God, Israel defeated the north as well. But some of the places, that is Philistines, Sidonians, Lebanonites, these places were not touched. These places were not captured. Rest all the places were captured by the Israelites, and they took possession into Canaan. So remember, first of all, you have to remember that there were 7 tribes that were living in Canaan, and next you have to remember that the people of Israel fought 3 wars in the central part, in the southern part, and in the northern part. 3 wars the people of Israel fought to win over Canaan. Okay. Now we're going to learn about the promised land. Which is the promised land? Canaan. Yes. So Canaan was captured by Israelites, and then it was divided. So how many tribes are there in Israel? 12 tribes. So the land of Canaan was divided among these 12 tribes. The tribe of Gad and the tribe of Reuben and half of the tribe of Manasseh were given lands on the east of Jordan. Okay, so the river Jordan, the east of river Jordan was given to the tribe of Gad, to the tribe of Reuben, and to the tribe of Manasseh. Not the whole tribe of Manasseh, only half of the tribe of Manasseh was given the land that is on the east of Jordan. Okay. Now, the tribe of Judah was given the southern part. The south part was given to the tribe of Judah. Caleb was also given proper inheritance. He also received proper land and inheritance in Canaan. Then Ephraim, the tribe of Ephraim, and the other half of Manasseh. So one of the half of the Manasseh got the east of Jordan, and the other part of Manasseh along with Ephraim got the south and the north rich lands of Shechem. Okay, and then the remaining lands were divided among the other tribes. So we only talked about Gad, Reuben, Manasseh, and Judah and Ephraim. So only 4 to 5 tribes we talked about over here. Rest remaining tribes also got their parts, and the rest of the place was divided among the other tribes. The tribe of Levi was not given any inheritance. Remember that the tribe of Levi was not given any inheritance. They were only given 48 cities and some pastures. Okay, some green land, that is some pastures for the cattle, and 48 cities was given to them. The tabernacle was set up at Mizpah. Remember this, the tabernacle was set up at Mizpah. Okay, so remember the promised land Canaan and how it was divided. Gad, Reuben and Manasseh got east of Jordan. Judah got the south part. Caleb also received his inheritance. Ephraim and other part of Manasseh got the south and north rich lands of Shechem, and the other land was divided among the other tribes. The tribe of Levi did not get any inheritance. They got 48 cities and some pastures. And where was the tabernacle set up? The tabernacle was set up at Mizpah. Okay. Now there is something known as the cities of refuge, which we need to learn. What is the cities of refuge and how many were there? There were 6 cities of refuge. And what is it? Okay, so if anyone kills someone accidentally or unintentionally, they can run and find safety in these cities of refuge. So if there is a murder that has been taken place but not intentionally, very much unintentionally and very much accidentally, so God knows your heart. You cannot murder someone intentionally and say, "Arey, no, it was by mistake." No, that is not what is said over here. It is absolutely unintentionally and accidentally. If by mistakenly with your hands you kill someone, then you can run and find safety in these cities of refuge. You can go and you can stay there till you are produced in front of the assembly, and when you go there, when you reach the city of refuge, then no one can harm you inside the city of refuge. Okay, so that was in the Old Testament. In the New Testament, where do we find refuge? Yes, we find refuge in the Lord. Whenever we have done something wrong by mistakenly, accidentally, if we have done something wrong, where do we run? We run to the Lord, and the Lord helps us, and no one can harm us when the Lord is with us. Okay, yes, so there were 6 cities of refuge. Remember the names: Golan, Ramoth and Bosor on the east of Jordan River, and Kadesh, Shechem and Hebron on the western side of Jordan River. Okay, so Golan, Ramoth, Bosor on east side of Jordan, and Kadesh, Shechem and Hebron on the western side of Jordan. So these were the 6 cities of refuge. Joshua called all the tribes together and he reminded them of the mighty ways that the Lord had led them. So the good Lord led them from Egypt till Canaan. All these years, all the 40 years, the Lord was with them, with all the wars that took place, or everything that took place, giving them manna, giving them shelter by day and by night, helping them through and throughout, giving them water, giving them to eat, fighting all the wars and everything. So the way that God led them from Egypt to Canaan was a very, very mighty way. So Joshua reminded all the tribes and all the people about all the mighty ways that the Lord led them. And that time Joshua declared, "As for me and my house, we will serve the Lord." And that was the declaration that he gave over there. And all the people together said, "We too will serve the Lord." Amen. And Joshua died at the age of 110. That is it for this chapter. Thank you. God bless you.